Ban.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4. This is going to be one of the last games of Season 4, as Season 5 is already underway. This is the Division 1-2 finals, so winner of this best of 3 is going to be going towards Division 1. Loser stays in Division 2. I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined by Grandis V for this best of 3, and I'm pretty excited to see more BBC. I think everyone is always excited to see them.
Yeah, definitely. So even with them losing Wheat, they've been doing quite well in the last few weeks, and always fun to watch them play. So hopefully we should have some good games. Goomba, on the other hand, are seemingly in a period of flux right now. I'm not exactly sure who's playing on Goomba. It looks like Chill and EDE are the only ones that are actually on the official roster, if even that. For the most part, they're filled up with stand-ins. Exist is the only one that I've seen play before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen him also play on Goomba, so he's like a kind of real player, but not really. Like, one of their stand-ins is actually like has their name broken, so I don't even know who that is, if it's someone that I would recognize. So either way, it's going to be Goomba filled up with stand-ins, and BBC going to be running with their full draft. So already off the bat, inherent advantage for BBC, and I would say most people would favor BBC to win in general, though they do pick up an Invoker first, and that is not something you see every day. Most likely it's just going to be handled by Miracle mid.
Yeah, definitely. So, a very interesting way to open things up. It'll also be interesting to see how they play the Invoker. It's a hero that is still pretty solid, but not one that we're seeing in these first few picks. Goomba, on the other hand, will snag up the Vengeful Spirit, which is a hero that's all too accustomed to being in that first pick slot.
Grab Vengeful Spirit, grab something like an Axe or something. The flavor of the month heroes, or at least 2 of the 3, are banned out, and my big 3 are Juggernaut, Troll Warlord, Axes. The heroes that everyone wants to get their hands on nowadays. We, of course, have the Broodmother ban. Lots of respect being paid towards Padrinho, as many teams generally do like to take that Broodmother out, just so that they don't have to bother dealing with it. But Goomba, they're going to grab the Centaur Warrior as the second, a pretty solid follow-up to the Vengeful Spirit. But I'm more interested in what BBC are doing, because these are heroes that we don't see picked or banned in many, many games.
Invoker Nature's Prophet, maybe the start of some super heavy global strat. You do have the global TP from Nature's Prophet and potential Sunstrike. Outside of that, I don't really see any innate synergy from these two heroes, especially if it's a Wex Invoker.
Yeah, Wex Invoker is pretty good versus the Centaur War Runner, just being able to lock him down, burn his mana, and you could subsequently kill him off with your pretty much max movement speed. But Nature's Prophet, a hero that is pretty much paid no attention anymore at all. If he could still go around and teleport, he could still push things if they want to go for the Exhort Invoker, get some Forge Spirits up online, get the Treants up online, and pressure Goomba's towers. But teams aren't really so inclined in approaching pushing like that, as in a couple patches ago it would have been a very simple thing to do. Now it's not as much so worth it, so BBC have to go in some sort of direction with this, and I'm inclined it's going to be more towards the pushing direction, so maybe watch out for a Jakiro pick?
Potentially. Right now, Goomba will take out the Necrophos, and for BBC, they'll ban out the Ancient Apparition and the Lion. Could have been some supports that would have been annoying for them to deal with, although the counter push from Lion isn't all that scary. It would have been pretty solid to have on Goomba's side, especially catching out the Nature's Prophet while split pushing. Outside of that, there's nothing really telling from either side's bans, it seems.
Yeah, just getting rid of generally strong heroes. Padrinho just played the Necrophos the other day, and by the other day I mean yesterday, and he won with it, so there's that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Slark being banned out, just because it is such a pain in the ass to deal with. And it is also something that BBC like to run all the time. I can understand the Lion ban coming out from BBC. The instant disables are going to be hard to deal with, and it is a skill that has stuns that goes through Sprout, which is something that Goomba would like to have, although they already kind of do have that if they really want to deal with this Nature's Prophet. So, BBC just going to restrict the support pool as much as they can, then okay, it's going to be a Venomancer ban. It's a little bit more in line with the pushing type strategy that BBC are seemingly going for, so it's also a very annoying hero to deal with. I could see this ban being legit.
Yeah, definitely. So for Goomba's next pick, if they want to snag up one of their sports, Scarth Mage seems to be pretty high up on the list, comboing well with the Centaur, as well as the Vengeful Spirit both. If they don't go for that, what else would be on Goomba's mind?
Well, they don't actually have to pick up a secondary support just yet. As far as, premium support heroes, Witch Doctor is still in the pool. Scarth Mage, as you said, is going to be a pretty good pick, because this is such an easy, solid lineup for Goomba. That's really not in any particular direction, but it's fine just because their supports have so much power, and BBC they don't have any supports right now, and I would say Vengeful Spirit, the most powerful support hero in the game right now. Scarith Mage is able to complement very well with the Centaur and Vengeful Spirit, so he gets up there in power level as well. So it's a solid opening for Goomba, and for BBC, I'm expecting something weird from them. Like, it's already kind of weird, but, you know, I'm expecting really weird.
5 seconds remaining.
Hopefully we get to see something really weird. What that really weird is a completely different story. I honestly have no idea where they're going.
Yeah, so, I mean, they know that they have to pick up some support heroes, and Goomba are going to be... There it is. We found the weird, guys. So, it is going to be a very aggressive global strategy, it seems. Zeus, maybe, as the fourth pick for BBC, will make their lanes absolutely terrible unless they want to run a support Zeus, support Spirit Breaker. I don't know if that's actually a thing, and it probably isn't, but being able to charge someone into Sunstrike, into TP in with Nature's Prophet, I guess it could work.
At the very least, it's always going to mean that Goomba is scared of getting ganked, especially if Spirit Breaker is running around with smokes. Even good ward coverage isn't going to protect you 100% from that. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. At the very least, it should be entertaining.
So they could go for more of these global heroes, but I think at this point, it's pretty important to have vision, just so you could find your targets a little bit easier. And in that sense, I think heroes like Beastmaster, Nyx Assassin, Bounty Hunter going to be a little bit more valuable for BBC, just so that they could have heroes that can scout around, so that you can paint a target for the Spirit Breaker to charge in, for the Sunstrike to fall. Not really sure how it's going to be affecting their lanes, and I don't think BBC at this point will have good lanes, so they might as well just go all in on this strategy. Having extra vision through heroes that can just scout around freely is going to be invaluable.
Yeah, it definitely is. As for Goomba, they'll snag up the puck next, and right now it feels like they just have a very stable lineup, but I'm not exactly sure if that's what they need up against BBC. If they get an early Blink Dagger on the puck in center, things could still go very well for them, but for now it's going to be a clockwork for BBC, and this somewhat fills that vision role that you're talking about, and ability to globally scout with that rocket flare, and also gives them another way to start off the fights. Combos very nicely with the Invoker. Hitting somebody inside cogs with the Sunstrike is incredibly easy.
And you could set up a Sprout Sunstrike or a Cog Sunstrike. Either way, you're going to be Sunstriking people at some point. And you know, Clockwork isn't exactly the hero that came to mind when I was talking about that vision, but he does do the job pretty well. If you have any sort of inkling where the enemy is, Rocket Flare will scout them out. And Clockwork, his initiation range is, though not as large as the other three heroes, is also pretty darn huge. And you compare that to Goomba, and they have the Puck who will eventually get a Blink Dagger, Centaur Warrunner, the exact same thing, and they have a Stampede, but it's most likely going to be BBC initiating the fights pretty much 80-90% of the time. And that's not really what you want to have happen if you're any team. You want to be able to start the fights, but BBC have went so deep into this, long-range strategy that they should be calling most of the fights. The problem is that they might be running out of damage once they do start out the fight.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that's going to be as far as their last pickup. Right now, it kind of feels like they need another support, unless they're going to go really greedy and throw the Nature's Prophet into the jungle. I'm not exactly sure how these lanes shake down for BBC. It doesn't look like there's anything that immediately comes to mind. Maybe Invoker mid's the only thing that we can call.
Invoker mid, I mean, they could Nature's Prophet jungle and support Spirit Breaker. It's about as greedy as you can lane a draft ever, just having a jungle and then a melee support hero who's often seen in a core role. So for BBC, it is going to be tough to actually get those lanes to work, and Goomba, that's really where their strategy, their very solid draft is going to be a lot stronger, is that, their lanes are not going to lose. Now picking up a Phantom Assassin, this is, as vanilla can get, but it works. That's why it's vanilla. Their lanes are just not going to lose. They could throw the Phantom Assassin mid, or they could have a tri-lane with a Phantom Assassin. Centaur Warrunner can go to an off-lane, or he could safe lane solo. Goomba have so much flexibility, and no matter how they decide to throw the heroes around, it's going to be easy lanes. And BBC, wait, what month is this? It's January, right? We is on Meepwned, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a miracle Meepo, and this should be very interesting, even deeper into the global ganking strat with poofs, blinks coming out from the Meepo. If Balkan Bear's lineup gets ahead, things could be very scary for Goomba, but as you kind of already alluded to, getting to that point is going to be the hardest part for BBC. Is their lanes are abysmal. I don't really see another way to put it. One way or another, there is going to be a jungle hero here, whether that's the Nature's Prophet or the Meepo is still yet to be seen. And even if they don't straight up jungle or support the Meepo, at some point he is going to be farming up stacks, and I don't know, it feels like they're giving Goomba a lot of room to get up those Blink Daggers. I really want to see this BBC lineup work, but I'm also a little bit tentative about it.
Alright, so of course BBC are known to pick drafts that they're comfortable with over drafts that would be quote-unquote good. So yeah, we'll see if this Miracle Meepo can perform, because BBC's history, their track record with Meepo, I mean, there's big shoes to fill, and some would even say the biggest possible Meepo shoes to fill. Miracle is a very capable mid-hero from what I've seen of him. Like, he is no joke, but can he live up to the legacy left by Wii? We'll see, because BBC, their lanes are going to be as such. Mass Carry will handle the Clockwork up towards the top lane, most likely will solo. Miracle is going to handle the mid lane Meepo. Pedrino is going to be maybe jungling as a Nature Prophet. 3 clarities would kind of indicate that. Yapsor on the Invoker, and Levi's going to be on the solo support Spirit Breaker for BBC. This is going to be a very interesting game, and I'm pretty sure everyone who bet on BBC are now just like clutching their fists in terror because of this draft.
And on the side of Goomba, currently as 3 down towards bottom, Chill going to be playing on the Centaur Warner, followed by Scabo Mutsa on the Vengeful Spirit, EDE on the Scarith Mage, mid lane PA, handled by Offenbacher Goldjunge, and safe lane, it's going to be Exist on the Puck.
Yeah, these names, how nice of them to pick names like this, but we have a little bit of scouting action down towards bottom lane, so BBC, they are going to note this is an offensive tri-lane with the Centaur, and that is a pretty good way to go. The Invoker can't handle it by himself, and the Spirit Breaker is not going to be helping at all. So this tri-lane should just be automatically won by Goomba, and the only way I could see this going poorly is if they dive a tower super aggressively, and by super aggressively I mean suicidally, and then end up dying, but just don't do that and you're golden in this bottom lane.
Yeah, I think so, and that said, their other lane should look pretty solid as well. Phantom Assassin mid versus Meepo, although Poof, especially once level 3 comes out, can be very risky for the PA to work with. For the most part, PA is going to be able to farm, and top lane Puck versus the Clockwork also should have an innate advantage. The biggest difference is that BBC have a dedicated jungler, so if no kills go on throughout this entire map, and the status quo maintains itself, BBC are going to be okay with it, I suppose.
Alright, so Miracle going versus the Phantom Assassin. As far as Meepo matchups are concerned, this is probably the best that you could hope for, actually. Like, versus Brewmaster, or versus a Puck, or versus any other standard melee hero, you're going to have much worse time. Levi, though, is on the charge. He's looking towards the top lane? Okay, well, he's going to abandon the bottom lane at any rate, so Yapsor is going to be all alone down in the bottom lane. This charge is not going to do jack, although Exist does not have an orb. He should know that this is coming. He has to know that this is coming, right? He's going to phase dodge it. That means the charge will fizzle, and Levi is going to be awkwardly now up on the top lane. I don't know what the point of that was, but he's here now.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker ganking at Puck really never is something that's going to work unless you completely catch him out off guard or you have some other way to lock him down, and that's just not the case. He's found himself a little nook inside the trees where he'll get some experience, but yeah, I don't really know what the plan is.
Oh, he's just gonna sit and ambush Exist, but Exist, even though he doesn't have the most mana, he's still capable of surviving this scenario, just because Clockwork versus Puck is the kill potential there for Clockwork just isn't existing. So it's going to be a dangerous potentially situation for Exist, but his lane is pushing up pretty far. He should be just fine. What's a little bit more dangerous is the fact that the Venge Skyrath Mage combo are not going to be sticking down on this bottom lane. Chill at this point is fine versus the Invoker, and he will be actually able to pressure the Invoker quite a bit, just being able to charge at him with his threat of damage. So this Vengeful Spirit Skyrath Mage combo are going to leave the bottom lane, and they can put a lot of pressure over towards the Meepo in mid.
Yeah, especially with the haste on the Vengeful Spirit, they can be very threatening. The Treant scouting them out is at least going to give BBC the intel that they are roaming around, and as long as they spot them out, Meepo's okay to continue farming in lane, but it is very scary. They are going to bump in very quickly to Pedrino, but yeah, there's going to be nothing happening there.
Alright, so bottom lane Invoker right now is just going to be chilling by himself. Really needs to get more points of Exort and needs to get upgraded boots so that he could survive the eventual level 6 dive-in from Chill. But YapzOr 1 versus 1 versus the Centaur should be doing just fine. And so far, Goomba, they haven't really punished BBC in any significant way. And their lanes are doing fine. Their Meepo and the Phantom Assassin in the mid lane are being relatively even. The other lanes are drawing relatively evenly as well. So Goomba, they have these two supports that are roaming around, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do with the Vengeful Spirit and Scarith Mage combo. But if it doesn't actually lead to anything, then these two heroes are just wasting their time. These heroes need to kick into gear and go somewhere.
They are going to smoke up and try to find that opening. It's probably going to be towards the Meepo. Even though right now he's just evenly farming with the Phantom Assassin, his flash firing potential is very threatening. And let's see if this gank is actually going to stick.
Top lane, the two male heroes trying to bully the puck out of lane. It's not really going to work out. And well, they're just going to, first of all, secure the 4-minute rune for the Phantom Assassin. And if it's something good, haste, double damage, they could make something happen. Invis, not really going to be it. They're just going to go up towards the top lane. So this might be the situation where we see our first blood. Levi going to blow the smoke, however. Mascarry caught out alone, however. Charged through 2. And the cogs go up, but it's too late. Edie's already going to draw blood. Levi's going to try to make it a 1-for-1, but he's not drawing lucky bashes at all. This guy has to practice his Spirit Breaker. TP Intimidation from the Nature's Prophet, but it's already too late. Clockwork is going to be the first blood.
Yeah, and that's a successful rotation coming out from the Goomba supports, and honestly, it's really hard to avoid that, especially when you are trying to play so aggressively up against the puck and bouncing back with the cogs and what have you.
Alright, so that's going to be that. BBC going to be dropping their Clockwork up towards the top lane. It's not really the worst deal in the world, however. An off-lane Clockwork being level 5, 5 minutes into the game is pretty much exactly where you want to be, and well, he's going to be able to hit level 6 very easily. He has gone for a very heavy battery assault build, so his ability to kill the Goomba heroes is certainly going to be there. It will be difficult versus the Puck and the Phantom Assassin. Both heroes will be able to get out of that cog situation, but if he catches anyone else with a hook shot, then they're pretty much dead, or at least until Vengeful Spirit gets a swap up. Then they might have a chance of surviving, but that swap is a long way off.
Yeah, and even once they have this swap, it's more or less going to forfeit the Vengeful Spirit's life, especially at the early levels and pre-force staff.
And well, BBC, their Nature's Prophet is just going to be chilling in the jungle, so far unpunished. A couple of camp blocks, I think, from Goomba. I mean, they clearly have a couple of blocks already up, but Nature's Prophet just bouncing between these two camps over here is going to be getting a relatively decent amount of farm, and he is going for a Null Talisman build. I actually don't know if this is the correct build for this type of draft, since well, BBC's late game is pretty good, but versus the Phantom Assassin will be difficult to lock her down enough. They're going to be using this build to try to make a aggressive early game play. The problem is that I don't really know what that's going to be. Maybe they're trying to go for that Forge Spirit, Nature's Prophet, Treant push, but that's not really going to be too convincing.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Once he gets the upgraded boots on top of these dual tallies, they do have a decent amount of damage, I suppose, and isolating these supports would probably net them kills. But as you said, yeah, I'm not exactly sure if this is the right way to play it. I think only time will tell.
Miracle level 6. This Meepo has had a very easy time, as I previously said, versus the Phantom Assassin. Not much the PA can do versus the Meepo, except for hope for lucky crits on her daggers and whatnot, but Miracle versus the Phantom Assassin actually does have quite a bit of kill potential, as what we see from we saw from when he was on BBC. Just wait till level 3 and then you just initiate with maybe one support, but the damage of double poofs is not to be underestimated, and Phantom Assassin has to be very careful in how she approaches this mid lane. If she gets a little bit too close to the Meepo, a net into double poof, and well, she could die very quickly. Up towards top though, it's going to be a Sunstrike kill for the Invoker, as Mascarry is going to dive towards the puck. Nature's Prophet thinking about teleporting in, stampeding forward. Edie's going to catch Mascarry in a corner. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. BBC still hesitant to teleport anyone in. In the meantime, it's actually going to be an Invis. Never mind. But it's going to be 1-for-1 trade up towards the top. Clockwork getting the hookshot kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Going really deep for it, though. I mean, you go that deep and you're probably not going to get out of there alive.
Yeah, it's nice in the sense that Clockwork's able to get a decent chunk of experience, but still, it's probably a little bit overzealous coming out from him. Down towards the bottom area of the jungle, might see some action. Pedrino going to attempt to TP out, no way to cancel it in range, and now charging onto Chill. In fact, going to think better of it as the Spirit Breaker cancels his charge and now is completely stuck. I believe they had vision of this, but now with the flare, they are going to be able to wave up to Levi, and oh my goodness, this is such an awkward spot for the Spirit Breaker. They'll go up to the high ground, break through the trees, he charges, but Magic Missile going to cancel it, and he's stuck on a different spot of high ground. Poor Levi.
Is he fine though? They have one tango. I think they could get to him with one tango if Scavo doesn't mess this one up. Okay, now Levi's free, but they're all running away, so I can't believe he actually gets to live. You're stuck twice for like a minute, and you get to walk away? That's insane. Levi is going to be pretty happy about that, but it's a level 3 Spirit Breaker. Even if BBC lose that hero, it's not the worst deal in the world. And while all that was happening, that was just, space created. It was very dangerous space created, but Yapzor was getting free farm, Meepo was untouched, Nature's Prophet was untouched, and that was 3 heroes from Goomba awkwardly standing around doing not much of anything. So I guess it was all worth it for Levi to make that play. We'll assume that was intentional.
Yeah, definitely so. Either way, Levi is still not really setting up that much on the Spirit Breaker. We'll just have to see. Another smoke coming up from EDE as well as Skabamutsa, and let's see where this is going to end up. The Scout's Mage and Venge combination, as we've already seen, does do quite a lot of damage if they're able to actually stick onto a target. And let's see how close Miracle is going to get towards the enemy side of the river. He could be in a whole heap of trouble if he oversteps his bounds. So get daggered once, and now they jump onto him. They have a concussive shot flying through. Silence up. They have a magic missile to fly through. Or do they? Skabamutsa just can't get in range. And now Miracle's going to be able to poof out. They hook shot in. They isolate one, jump in for the hoof stomp. They are going to be able to catch out Masquerade, but they're just dropping way too low. That's going to be Phantom Assassin down now for the Centaur. They do lose the Clockwork in return, but it's not over yet as they chase down the Vengeful Spirit as well as Skyrath. One net, and now poof in from Miracle. That's going to be a 1-for-3 trade. Petrino dropping low to the tower. A couple more Arcane Bolts are going to spell the end of the Nature's Prophet's live Dream Coil onto 2. Levi going to be silenced up as Miracle breaks the coil. Levi going to be blown up by the Loser Orb as Miracle should be able to make his way out of here in an absolute bloodbath in mid.
So Goomba made 2 mistakes there. First of all, their Vengeful Spirit, not with enough mana to cast both the Magic Missile and the Wave. She was at like 130 or something like that, so made her choice and wasn't quite the right choice. And the second mistake is not respecting this Meepo. It's a very easily killable hero most of the time. But sitting on Strength Treads and a Point Booster and a Poor Man Shield, this Meepo is a very, very tough nut to crack, and you have to focus the fake one, and I don't even know if they did. It's going to be a difficult task for them moving forward, and they have to focus the Meepo, the correct Meepo, with the right heroes at the right time. Without a Magic Missile, it's just not going to happen. Yapzor's being chased down by Exist, took like a million right clicks, but no Orb Silence attempt from Exist as Levi is actually coming in very, very slowly from the top lane. It's a level 2 charge, so it's not that slowly, I suppose, but he is going to be walking right into a trap as Chill is also here. He's going to cancel, okay. But, yeah, the Goomba side not respecting the power of Miracle. Now over towards mid lane. They're going to set up again. Double net Sunstrike. Very easily done, and man, you don't really expect that to happen to Phantom Assassin, but as I said, the burst power of Meepo is here. Even without the Sunstrike, I'm pretty sure he could have gotten it done.
Definitely so. Pre-BKB, Phantom Assassin is so squishy up against a Meepo, and at this point, there's not really much that the PA can do. Maybe blinking out to some nearby ally, but there was no ally close, and Meepo also ticks his level 10, which is huge for Meepo. That's when you get your third extra little buddy to roam around on the map with, and it's a lot of damage in that poof combination. Centaur going to show himself over to these creeps as he looks to interrupt a pull. The rest of the heroes are just kind of farming around him, and now they ping out Chill. They will charge him from the Spirit Breaker and try to find an opening, but he does have backup inside the lane. This could be a fairly large fight.
Clockwork's going to teleport in. Without the Clockwork, they can't fight. Looking for a net. Miracle is off to the side. Levi's going to be the one to lead the charge, though. He will connect onto Chill, disrupting the double-edged hoof stomp combo. But the Stampede is already there. Chill is going to get permastun, and he will be brought down. Miracle dropping very low in the meantime, though. He is going to be the trade, but Masquerade hookshots in on the Venge will make it a better trade for BBC as Exist is trying to run away from Yapzor. Edie's going to try to run away from Masquerade and Padrino. It's going to lead to 4 deaths of Goomba getting massively outnumbered, or not that massively, but Phantom Assassin had no part in that fight, and BBC just being able to burst down the tankiest hero on the front lines while Meepo took a lot of damage. Not exactly the trade that they want to be making. Meepo should ideally survive after every fight for BBC, but and they scattered the fight so perfectly, and Goomba were caught in very awkward quarters where they had a couple heroes off to the right, a couple heroes off to the left, and a couple heroes stuck in the trees. So BBC take a really nice fight. Their ability to reinforce with their long range is certainly coming into play right now.
Definitely so. They focus a lot onto Miracle, and even though he does die, as you said, he is going to be happy with that exchange, at least for his team. The extra room that Phantom Assassin got really pales in comparison to how much farm this Meepo is getting. Outside of lane, being involved in 6 kills, as well as having free farm in the jungle. Nature's Prophet going to lose his life to the puck in the meantime up towards top. Looks like that was just a pretty straightforward kill with the help of the Scarlet Mage.
Just concussive shot him, silence him, and once those 2 skills land, the Nature's Prophet is pretty much screwed unless he has the Shadow Blade or something like that. But that's clearly not going to be the case. He has Power Treads and 3 Null Talismans. It's a build that's going to help him fight early, and if BBC can repeat their fight down in the bottom lane continuously, then this build is going to be at its full effectiveness. But it seems like right now they're more content with spreading out. Mascara is going to hook shot in, catches Edie and exists. Where's the Sunstrike? He's doing a lot of damage to the Scarlet Mage. They're not putting any damage to the Clockwork because of that Blade Mail. Sunstrike going to come a little bit late. Will do a little bit of damage to exist, but Mascara is going to die beforehand. Gets a double kill though with the last tick of battery cell. Now here comes Padrino. He's actually all alone. They need the Spirit Breaker to come up here right now, or Meepo, or someone, because Padrino's actually in a lot of trouble. No Hoof Stomp mana though. Centaur also has it on cooldown. Padrino should be fine, even though there is a swap cooling down. Padrino is going to drop very low. Double Edge not going to kill him off though. Now Chill is on a wild goose chase. No, the Sprout! Just run away and you're fine, but he sprouts himself in and Chill gets a double. Chill might not be completely fine though. Actually, where's the Spirit Breaker going? He's going towards the support Vengeful Spirit. There is a Nether Strike here, so the Vengeful Spirit is guaranteed to fall. Nether Strike will not quite get the kill. Birds! No! Neutral Creep's gonna get the kill. Oh man, BBC with just the most unfortunate series of events. It's not going to be benefiting them, and Goomba are going to be so happy that they got those, I guess, 2-kill swing with the Centaur getting his and the Venge dying, or denying herself.
What a crazy exchange. It starts off with Clockwork getting a pretty easy kill, then he gets that really lucky tick of the battery assault up towards top. Levi going to be bursted down. That's a similar kill to what we saw in the Nature's Prophet. Yeah, probably can't be caught up there solo. It is only a support Spirit Breaker dying, but still a nice pick-off, I suppose, for Goomba.
Oh, man.
In the mean, oh, they will find the Phantom Assassin, and this is going to be a pretty straightforward kill for Miracle. They do get a couple of crits onto Miracle, and he's still fighting. The misses are not enough. The Sunstrike flies through. Miracle's still surviving. He's not going to die. The tower survives on 11 HP and gets the kill on Centaur as well.
Scarlet Mage was right there. He fired a concussive, but for some reason it didn't actually go. And now they're going to charge in onto Edie. And I don't really know if that's going to help that swap, Scavo. You don't want to be doing that because Nature's Prophet's going to grab the kill anyway. Now Scavo's going to be the one in a lot of trouble because the Space Cow is still coming in, but it's not even necessary. Mascari is going to kill off everyone, then walk away. By the time Levi and Padrino arrive, they're all already dead. Miracle now going to reinforce with himself, and this is all happening while the Invoker is getting free farm down the bottom lane. Now that he has a Yule Scepter, plus the Hand of Midas ticking away, he's 306. His Sunstrikes have been on point, maybe a little bit late, but they've been doing their jobs. And he's been pushing the bottom lane very aggressively. Tower already destroyed the Tier 1, and Tier 2 is going to be constantly pressured. Yapzor is pretty much like the hidden carry right now for BBC up towards the top lane. Exists. He's going to get jumped by Levi. He's going to earn charge. He actually has no more mana. Is there a hook shot? Not for another 8 seconds. And with Stampede Exists, will also dodge a Sunstrike. But Mascara, he wants this. He wants this so badly. Blind hook shot. Not quite a blind hook shot, but now he sees Exist. There it is. We'll connect. One more right click. We'll get the kill. Battery Assault is up, so if Chill wants to fight this, it'll be hard for him. He'll get the Hoof Stomp out. Magic Missile is there as well. Double Edge. Not going to be casted just yet because of that Battery Assault. Here comes Padrino. We'll go into the Cogs. Actually, will provide him some safety. And here comes Space Cow as well, going onto the Centaur. Couple more right clicks, and with the Nether Strike, Centaur down. Here comes the Skywrath Mage, going to try to get a solo kill onto Padrino. He has a Mystic Flare, and he will actually, yeah, that was right on the edge. It looks like it missed, but he will connect it onto the Nature's Prophet. Phantom Assassin also rotating in. Phantom Strike onto Levi. A little bit of trouble. This Spirit Breaker. Crit number 1. Cogs go up. Levi's going to charge away with the Cogs as well. This crit dagger might kill him off. He's going to go a long way, but he will get sniped by that dagger. Levi just had such an unfortunate game this entire game, but he will die once again. But overall 18 for 12, and I'm pretty sure it's BBC to take a slight advantage overall in that fight.
Even if that fight goes in the favor of Goomba, Miracle's farming the entire time, currently up to almost 9k net worth, and has a Blink Dagger as well as Aghanim Scepter at less than 16 minutes in. Incredible farm on this Meepo, and right now he's just so scary for the enemy team to deal with. The Phantom Assassin could get it blown up. They finally do something about that Invoker, however, as he gets a little too comfortable down towards bottom, blinking for a Hoof Stomp and some follow-up from Exist.
Yeah, pretty easily done there, and the Invoker, though he is quite high leveled, he hasn't gotten any points in Wex, so not yet with the ability to go into that Ghost Walk. Probably would have saved him. There's no True Sight here. Maybe they throw out some random skills since you are moving very slowly in that Ghost Walk with only level 1 Wex. Regardless, he's going to go down for the first time actually. Invoker having a very safe game right now, and the rest of the BBC side also holding down the fort in the meantime. This isn't usually going to be the game plan with Invoker, though he does do pretty well in the late game as far as intelligence heroes are concerned. If the Invoker was, you know, carry hero X, any other carry hero, the BBC side would be feeling a lot more comfortable in this game, but as it stands right now, they are still going to be on the aggressive. They have a lot of momentum going for them, and they really don't want to let this Phantom Assassin get a whole lot of farm. Right now, BBC are leading the way in net worth, and they should look to keep it that way by making more pushing happen. Should be on the top lane.
Yeah, probably so. I'd also like to see Miracle get a little bit more active in the fights. It's not that he hasn't been involved in these kills, it's that he hasn't really been aggressive at looking for them. With the Blink Ags now up, I think this is kind of the window that he should be looking to hit hardest, especially since Phantom Assassin is still miles away from getting that Black King bar up.
And even when she has that, I mean, the blur is keeping her very much so alive versus the Meepo's damage. But speaking of Meepo's damage, okay, looks like a random Scarlet Mage found him, but Sunstrike with the hook shot in. Chill and Scabo gonna be a lot of trouble. Mascari gonna collect a double. Padrino looking for a Sprout around the corner. Edie's gonna straight TP out. Sprout, because why not? And that's going to be the escape of Scarlet Mage, but killing off of Meepo, very, very expensive. Clockwork seemingly everywhere right now, and a hook shot with that battery assault, with those cogs, after with a Sunstrike on top, it's hard to deal with for the Goomba side. Their Vengeful Spirit needs to be the one swapping people out, but you can only swap so many of your allies out, and well, it will result in a push in both the mid lane and bottom lane in the meantime.
Invoker going to be handling that mid lane push, has the Forge Spirits going to town, but Puck is going to make quick work of that in a creep wave, as Nature's Prophet puts more pressure down towards bottom. The tier 2 has previously been taken, I believe, just by the Invoker pushing down this lane, so there isn't actually a tower for Pedrinho to take, but still, it's forcing Goomba back. They actually can't afford to do much else. Blade Mail going to be picked up by Pedrinho as well. This is the full no tally build up for the Nature's Prophet, and right now I think BBC are primed to fight.
Yeah, going for Roshan is going to be possible with their amount of summons, though their damage towards Roshan is not the largest unless Miracle wants to go in there, and they would in general like to take Roshan, be able to take Roshan without the Meepo committing himself there just because of the threat he will be in. Scabo is going to be Yule Scepter combo down towards bottom lane. Yapzor can get some distance, but he will get coiled. Has a Ghost Walk available to him, but he has no Invoke, so he's going to fight it out with Exist, then snap the coil at the last possible second. It wouldn't have mattered too much because they had a Mystic Flare coming in, and Puck should have gotten the kill anyway, but either way, Yapzor going to make an even trade down on the bottom lane. And it's going to be a trade that he's not going to be too happy to make, but still, this is just buying a lot of space for the other heroes BBC to farm. Up towards top lane, Miracle's looking for a kill, while at the same time farming his own jungle, and Padrino's here as well to help out, but it's not going to be anyone teleporting up to the top lane. Instead, a very easy tower destruction.
Yeah, Meepo going to be able to take this one by himself, and that's even more gold in the pockets of Miracle. From here on out, I think it's probably going to be a Scythe for him, just to have a way to deal with the Phantom Assassin. I think there really isn't a better option.
Yeah, Phantom Assassin will have that BKB, but you know, they still have bashes, they still have nets. Going through the Phantom Assassin is going to be pretty easy no matter what, I think, for BBC, unless Blur, and Blur is always a thing. But either way, Mascari is going to be going for that Aghanim Scepter, and well, for Goomba, what items do they have in the works? Aside from that BKB on Phantom Assassin, the Puck is going to be going for that Hex. We got nothing really much on anyone else. Edie might be going for a Rod of Atos with that staff, and Chill might be going for BKB, but those aren't really huge items to have right now. As I said, they have answers to BKB, and Chill's going to get jumped net into massive amounts of boost with Sunstrike. Chill's going to take a very swift fall. Hookshot will miss. Mascari not able to connect that, but teleport in for Padrino is going to sit in the Mystic Flare with Blade Mail. That's a little bit bold. He'll try to TP away. Orb forward will get the kill. No, it'll miss. He escapes, and now they're going to go for Scabo. He's going to get netted down. He's going to take a fall. Exist is off to the north. He will be fine to TP out. That angle looked like it was going to hit, but it just barely missed that Nature's Prophet.
Uphill skills are always so wonky, like looking at arrows that you think are for sure gonna hit or for sure gonna miss, and then they go uphill and everything goes down from there. I don't think you can really fault the Puck for that. I thought it would hit too, but Nature's Prophet going to be able to make a very slick escape after going for the ballsy play, but it pays off for him. We have Blink Dagger freshly picked up by the Invoker. Meepo takes his level 17 now with 4 clones at his disposal and is about halfway, or more than halfway, towards his Scythe. Miracle's really hitting this Meepo timing window very hard.
And he's still on the hunt. If anyone goes towards the bottom lane, maybe with the exception of Exist, they'll just die, but Miracle's burst damage is pretty high. Here come the poofs, I'm sure. Exists? No, not yet. They're not going to pull the trigger. At least Miracle isn't going to pull the trigger. Maybe Sunstrike isn't available. It is, actually. And the rest of the BBC side, they're on the hunt, going through the enemy side of the jungle. If they find anyone, a Yule Scepter combo will pretty much outright kill them off, and at the very least it'll force a swap out, and then they'll kill off the Vengeful Spirit. So they get something no matter what, and they're going to be looking for the Phantom Assassin, but this is a trap because Chill is around the corner. He's going to blink in, look for Hoofstomp onto Yapzor. Will get Hookshot in the meantime, though. Sunstrike not quite there yet. Swap out from Scaba will cost himself his own life, however. Chill being stunned up by Levi. Padrino's going to come in as well, and Chill is doomed to fall right now. Exist going to get in there with a nice coil silence, but in the meantime, it's going to be the Invoker to fall to the Phantom Assassin, as the little hook shot out from Mascari, going to kill off Exist with a rocket, and now looking towards Edie, charge forward from Levi, going to connect, stuns there, damage as well, double kill for Levi. Phantom Assassin still here though, crit, big one onto that Spirit Breaker, will get 1 kill. Now looking towards Mascari, has a hook shot up again because he has the Aghanim Scepter, will turn around for it, and fighting to the death. Mascari is going to come out ahead. After all is said and done, it's going to be BBC cleaning house up on the top lane with a triple kill for Mascari, and that was a 4v5 engagement. Miracle in the meantime was killing Roshan.
I would think that it would have been a lot cleaner an engagement if they actually brought in the Meepo for all of that, but released like clockwork play throughout all of it, and BBC end up coming out on top. This is going to be a very fast scythe up for Miracle, as well as having that double life, he can push pretty much to his heart's content. Last tier 2 tower is standing in mid, and they'll probably be able to make quick work of that soon.
Or they'll just go up to the top lane and blink, poof, and kill off the Vengeful Spirit before she has a chance to do anything. I think it's coming right about now. Net is going to miss. Sunstrike will also miss. It'll take a couple more right clicks, but Skabo really doesn't have a chance here. Here comes Stampede. Puck does not have a coil, though. Blink forward for Hoofstomp onto literally all the Meepos. Here comes the Invoker, though. Might be able to bail out Miracle. He has an Aegis anyway, so he's fine to fight to the death. Chill is going to take a fall. Now Exist is going to be focused down by Yapzor. Force Staff out. He will survive a little while longer unless Levi has grown some serious balls, and he has. He's going to dive all the way to the fountain. Decides to cancel it, but now the Phantom Assassin's right on top of him. Not a good idea for that Spirit Breaker, but he'll go for Edie instead. Landing another strike. Miracle is also still alive. Respawned by the Aegis. Now going to fight it out with this Phantom Assassin. Blur helping her out quite a bit, but not enough versus Miracle. Coil is there onto everyone, but it'll be an ultra kill for Meepo after all is said and done. Now looking for that Puck, who's off to the side, will blink out of the Sunstrike, but Miracle using that Aegis pretty much perfectly, and now it's going to be top lane very quickly destroyed by the BBC side. Goomba just don't have enough to fight it out right now. They need their Phantom Assassin alive, but Phantom Assassin just by herself isn't enough anymore.
Yeah, especially now without the BKB. Without that activate, there really isn't any hope for her to survive. As we saw, Blur is good against Meepo, but not any longer. You have the Scythe coming up for the Meep, and there's just not much that you can do. Goomba right now are really pressed to actually do much. Nature's probably going to lose his life. It looks like he missed the memo a little bit, sticking around a little bit too long.
I mean, when you're 13 kills ahead, when you are this much ahead, 20k net worth advantage for BBC, 20k experience advantage for them as well, you could afford to die a couple of times. It's not something you should be doing, but it's something you can probably get away with without being punished too severely. There's still an awkward tier 2 tower in the mid lane that BBC can take, and they don't have that Aegis any longer. We saw the amount of damage that Goomba can put onto Miracle, and of course that was Miracle just by himself, and he was kind of putting himself in that situation because he knew he had the Aegis, but Goomba, they're capable of killing off this Meepo. They're capable of killing off pretty much everyone on BBC, but when these fights happen, the fights get so scattered because of the hook shot, because of the charge in, all these displacement effects from BBC, that Goomba can't really take the fight they want, and now Exist in the bottom lane is going to get jumped. He will find himself a little bit of space. Coil is dropped. Levi can take a lot of damage from Mystic Flare, but he will survive for a little while longer. Rox is going to drop, do no damage. Yaps are going to try to kill off the Scarith Mage, blink forward with a couple more exhort right clicks, and he will be able to eventually kill off Edie. In the meantime, Mascari hook-shotting in, killing off the Puck to the north. They're going to chase towards the north and look for one more. Pedrino is going to get himself in there, but unfortunately, teleport away from the Centaur going to mean that he can't quite get a kill. Sprout not in range of the Venge either. It's going to be a 1-for-2 trade, though, still going the way of BBC, and Miracle is also in this area. This is going to be a bottom lane push, and this is going to be a bottom lane push that Goomba cannot defend without their Puck and Skywrath Mage being alive.
This is also very scary, as Miracle's in the guise of smoke. If they spot eyes on the Phantom Assassin, I think the Meepo just straight up jumps, and we'll have to see as he is going to jump in, throws a dagger that crits onto Pedrino. Tier 3 tower's already gone, however. The pushing power of Meepo with these Forge Spirits and all the summons from BBC is too much. They're going to forfeit a melee barracks bottom.
Blink forward, poof in. Skabo can take a hell of a lot of damage. A couple more right clicks will kill off the Vengeful Spirit. Buyback from the Puck. They're going to try to fight, but what's the point at this point? Because Chill is hexed up. He's going to very swiftly take a fall as well. Force Staff out, but a hook shot in is going to catch Exist, keeping him out of the fight. Mascari doing his job there. Edie, in the meantime, going to be focused down by Miracle. Mystic Flare is going to do a lot of damage. Hoof stomp to everyone. There's an orb through everyone as well. Meepo is going to take a fall. Unstoppable Spree going the way of the Skywrath Mage. Mascari awkwardly stuck here alone, looking for another hook shot. Will miss. And that will be his eventual escape, although no, he gets coiled. Trying to TP out of there. Looks like he should be fine. Yes, he will. They try to Force Staff snap it, but he gets out of there right before it snaps. That's actually pretty lucky for Mascari. He's going to get away, but Miracle wants back in. He's going to swiftly kill off the Scarus Mage. Now going for the range Raxes. Hard to keep track of this guy, but he's going to instantly hex the Phantom Assassin. Decided to 1v5 the Meepo. Not a good idea. Triple kill for Miracle. He's going to kill off the range Raxes now. Looking for Edie as well. If you get too close, you will get netted and killed off. Blink forward. There's a net onto Edie. Swap out. Going to keep him alive for a little while longer, but Scabbo's going to give his life for it. It's 4 kills. It's 5 kills for Miracle. That's a GG well played. Oh, man. I said he had some big shoes to fill, but Miracle stepped up and delivered. BBC still terrifying with this hero, apparently.
Definitely so. They made that draft work out so well. They were able to abuse the map and really made use of their global potential. And all the while, Meeple was farming up and really just had a great time. BBC, again, impressed.
Alright, guys. BBC are now 1-0 up over Goomba here in the JDL4 EU Division 1-2 playoffs match. If they win the next game, they'll be in Division 1 for Season 5. If they don't, then we're going to a Game 3. Either way, I'm Mike Loris. I've been joined by Grandis V, and we'll be right back in just a little bit for Game 2 between BBC and Goomba.